Tonight's episode of Depth Perception is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction. This, you may recognize, is our movie podcast, still in operation, waiting for you. We invite you, if you dare, to take a seat because in tonight's episode, the movie is the star, and this recording travels directly to the secret menu. Welcome to the secret menu. This is Mr. Vozly. I got Tin Man with me tonight.
Hello.
And I've got a special guest, Edge.
Hi. Thanks for having me here. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for the invite.
All right.
Tin Man, Vozly. Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm excited to be here a lot.
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm excited to have you.
Excellent.
We had Tiffy. Now we got Edge. We all got nicknames. So this episode is brought to you by the smash hit Obsession. I think it was made in 25, released this year, 2026. What is his name? Curry Barker?
Curry Barker.
Barker.
Directed by and written by. So it's been quite the success so far. We had the pleasure or displeasure of seeing it last weekend.
Oh, it was both for sure. I'll tell you that much.
Confused pleasure.
Well, exactly.
So we're here to talk about it today. This is a secret menu episode, and let's get into it. So our experience with this movie so far is that us three, went to go see it last weekend, late show. We stood outside, chatted for about half an hour about it. So let's go through our first impressions when we first watched it. How do we feel? What do we think?
All right. Oh, bring back the ding for the secret menu.
There was no ding in the previous episode, I don't think.
Dingless. All right.
I went dingless by myself.
All right. Want me to go first then?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. First impressions. What I just wrote down, just single words. Intense. Very much so. Drawn out tension. Very well acted. I know the budget was only like $750,000. It was under $1 million, and it did not feel like that to me.
Right.
Every bit of it seemed like it was a top tier, well acted, well shot, well lit movie for a YouTuber who's been recording little skits and whatever, and then putting it on a big screen. It was really, it was a tough but well enjoyed experience.
Arduous, I think, is your usual
That's
word.
my usual word, and I will use it again. It was arduous. The moments of mild levity felt well earned, like a little breath of fresh air every once in a while. that the littlest joke or whatever that thrown in there was like it felt good in those moments to have that little break from the
reprieve.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because you needed that with this movie for sure. The white knuckles can relax for a minute. And the first time I saw it, like as soon as we walked out of the theater, I was like, I don't know if I want to see that movie again. Now I kind of want to see that movie again. Exactly. You needed a week to just decompress from what you just watched.
Yeah.
I woke up the next day, I was like, no, I'll buy that. Because I was the same way. I was like, I don't know if I need to see that one again. And then, like I said, I woke up the next day, I'm like, I want to see that again.
Yeah. It was quite an experience, yeah.
What about you, Edge?
For me, there was a lot of emotions that occurred while watching this movie. Cringe was one for that one scene. We can talk about it later. Mm-hmm. Obviously, just intense, like Tin Man said. And then it's sick, and it came at you from the very beginning. No, it was like the first coffee scene, and then the rest was just you're on a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. And then you needed those slight comical points just to keep you from, because without those comic points, it just would be just too intense. And so I think Curry Barker added those, like from what you said, the YouTube skits.
Yeah.
From that experience, just to kind of alleviate the intensity of what Nikki and
just enough to keep like the flow comfortable. The flow felt comfortable.
I know there's a few times, especially the helpline customer service team. I know we're kind of chuckling at it. But I think my first impression, there was a few scenes that like made me feel, and that's always a good thing for me anyway. Watching a movie, if you can make me feel, then I like that you got me there. That doesn't always have to be like I feel enlightened, I feel happy. It could be I feel uncomfortable, and that movie did a good job of those scenes. It was funny that the morning after, because we saw it late at night, so I talked with my wife after. And I'm describing the movie, and she's laughing at how I'm describing it. I'm like, hold on. I was like, just so you're aware, they did the unsettling parts too well for a lot of the actual funny parts, quote, funny, to actually make you feel completely at ease or even laugh at them.
Yeah.
So it was like, it would register, like I'd see a funny scene and it'd register. And I can't pull any out of the hat right now of what scenes were funny, but like it would register that it was supposed to be funny, and probably in the future I might find it funny, but right now I'm too focused on that crazy lady.
Yeah, and I agree with you that the movie invoked all those emotions, and if a movie can do that, then I think it's established movie, and so with this movie it invoked like you saw me flinching in the movie in the theater. I was
the one I remember is early on when she's not in bed and it's dark and it
that
just
was
shows
one of my
wall.
memorable scenes was when he wakes up and she's not in bed.
And like I saw Hereditary in theaters, and I remember like trying to focus my eyes. I'm like, there's something not right in here. I'm like looking in the corners. I'm like, I think that's someone hanging out in the corner. And like, that was the case for this one too. I was like, hey, Edge, look.
I was like, I'm already covering my eyes here. I already saw it before.
Like, I'm pretty sure I heard like expletives like whispered in my ear.
Oh,
but that was I think that was one of the moments when she's like hopping out like a bunny, like her arms are like bent up like a little, I don't know, like you're pretending to be a bunny rabbit,
some
hopping.
kind of cute animal.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She like hops like to the forefront. You're cute when you sleep, or whatever.
Yeah.
So what were our most memorable moments then from that viewing? Because all three of us have only seen it once, correct?
I've only seen it once.
Okay.
I've only seen it once, but I think I plan on seeing it. The significant other wants to go and see it. So whether I heard it might be released on streaming soon.
Already? That makes sense. It was already...
But because of the success that it's gotten,
I think it got pushed back.
It got pushed back because I think it was supposed to come out this week or next week. But
Wow.
but because it was only a $750,000 budget, that they didn't expect it to be this well. But I think it's been grossing every week.
I was to say I had the IMDb up because I wanted to check the year exactly because it did come out. 2025 is when it was finished.
Yeah,
Right.
and so I think it's been increasingly receiving well with everyone, especially with the younger folks.
Yeah.
So whether I stream it or
right now it's at 305 million, I think.
that's remarkable.
That's awesome.
That's the
That's the
IMDb.
horror genre for you.
Yeah.
When you tap it, man, you tap that type of and you make it well. It sky's the limit with the horror genre.
Was it Blair Witch and then Paranormal Activity and this? I think I talked to you about this. New Line Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
They reference that as the house that Freddy built.
Yeah.
So that's referencing Freddy Krueger because I guess it was going to go that New Line Cinema was going to go under, but then they released Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay.
And it saved the thing, and like they end up, I think, aren't they the ones that did Lord of the Rings even? So like they've, because of a horror movie, a low budget horror movie, all these other things are able to flourish. So that's why I talk so highly about the genre. So anyway, most memorable scenes. What do we got?
All right, I'll go with that. Well, that was one of them. Was where Bear wakes up, and he's in the bed alone. That was one where she's watching him sleep from the shadowy corner. They have this really weird interaction. He freaks out. Her movements are all over the place, I think that, I don't know if it's that night or one of the other times, but she sleeps in bed and he tries to sneak out from behind her or from out from under her, and she's just like, "Stay!" He screams like that, and I was like, "Oh, that was kind of freaky just watching that." But I think one of my most memorable scenes is when he finally leaves her to go to work, and she tapes the door shut. She leaves this crazy smile on her face while he walks out, and then he's eating a sandwich that they were like, "Man, your sandwich smells weird." She's like, "What's that?" Like, and he's got a sticky note on there. He's got two Polaroids of him. It says "you," and it's of him sleeping, and then one of her that says "not me," and sandwich with something weird in it. And on the other side of one of those Post-it notes on the inside, it says, "What's the verdict? Cat?"
Verdict?
Question mark.
Yep, that was a good one.
So that was probably that little bit of break, because they've been like at the hip, I think, right before that one moment where she's like, "Oh, I wish I was working today." And he's like, "No, you're scheduled a different day. You can't come in.
Enjoy your day off.
Enjoy your day off. Yeah. And I'll be home afterwards." And that's the little bit of break he has where he's with everyone else who's a little normal. He has a little moment with Sarah. Seems maybe everything's going to be okay before he comes home to the gremlin that he got wet after midnight. You know, like
8 after midnight. She was wet long before.
She's been wet. She's been wet for hours.
My memorable moments. I want to preface this with when we went to the theaters, it was my cat's birthday. So when the cat was there lying on the ground in the kitchen floor, I was kind of traumatized. He's already
Of all things to get traumatized by.
well, that was that. Like I said, it was a roller coaster from the get go, because then the commonality was there. I was like, oh god, like if my cat found my cat like that, oh goodness. So the cat was the one thing.
That was early too.
That was early. So then it goes to Stay when she was screaming. That just was a great jump scare.
It wasn't even like a shock. It just rose in volume and intensity, and you're
like
just
you couldn't escape it either. It's like
Yep.
okay.
And then it was, I did expect it, but still eating the cat.
You expected that?
Oh yeah,
I did not see that
it was
coming.
it was like the chef's decision, or chef's choice, and then I'm surprised he didn't grimace when he first ate it.
Yeah, she was like, "What's that smell?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm just eating my sandwich."
But then the two other scenes was when Bear calls us the rep of the Make-A-Wish. And he transfers her over.
Oh yeah.
And you just hear a blood-curdling scream. And I knew that was the real Nikki, not the psychosis Nikki.
We'll call her Wish Nikki.
Wish Nikki. It was the real Nikki. And she just wasn't escaping. And it left you scared for her, and it was just the scream that she let out was just I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, the nonchalantness too of the service rep of kind of like, oh, everyone wants to take their wish back. Kind of like, this happens all. You want to talk to her? I got her. No, okay.
Like they responsible. They call him just like, yeah. What can I do for you? What do you need? Like what? Also, that is the voice of the writer and director. That is Curry Barker's voice. That is the
is it?
Yeah, it is the hotline.
Yeah, I watched enough of his skits. I'm like, oh, there he is.
Yep. If you watch enough of his skits, you recognize his voice.
Yeah.
If you want to call the One Wish Willow hotline.
Yeah, tell us about that, Tin Man.
All right, so if you pause or watch the video or watch the movie, there's a number that shows up on the box. And that he calls. Yes. And so some YouTubers or videos, guys had like paused it to try to, or recorded it so they could get the number exactly.
Yeah.
And I think I wrote it down. It's actually area code 32347. 747-7118. And if you
Hopefully
call it,
we're not doxing anyone here, by the way.
if you call it, it does go to a voicemail.
You've reached the One Wish Willow hotline. Unfortunately, we're not liable for any unintended things that might have happened to you or your loved ones. That includes property damages, psychological distress, emotional trauma, extreme personality changes, deeply disturbing displays of love, bodily harm, death, or anything resembling possession and stuff like that. It's all there in the fine print, but maybe you didn't read it. Most people don't. If you need further assistance, well, I hope you can find it because there's not much I can really do. Good luck.
Good luck.
That's it. That's if you call it, that's what'll show up.
And probably like a customer service rep is so desensitized to everything that, he's kind of like, yeah.
Like, why even have a customer service rep?
Well, if he's talking to real Nikki on the other end, what realm, dimension, demon this guy is,
right,
or whatever.
Like
what could it be?
Right, and that just leaves the world, the mind to wander.
Yeah.
What I like about this movie is that it has like a callback to like classic horror movies, like Wishmaster and like Rumpelstiltskin, where it's like an old shop that has trinkets and mystical things, and you got the classic trope of like careful what you wish for, type of thing. So it's like, it works. Like it's always worked, that type of story. So it's cool to see it kind of come back and be re-envisioned this way.
That was a great moment of levity, was when he goes back to the store and looking for the One Wish Willows. They're not here. He's like, what are you talking about? We never had those. Just kidding. We moved them over here.
And there was the comedic relief in that part.
That was a great moment, because it didn't,
because
what do you call him? The cashier, I guess.
Yeah,
his reaction's like, yo, buddy, this is a lot of energy to be coming at us at this early in the morning.
Absolutely. He's like, the warning labels are all on the box.
Dude, why would you sell these to people? The warnings label.
Yeah. I got my wish. I don't know. Like, the wish itself is not a curse, where like the typical idea of the monkey's pie is like you if you get something, you're going to be cursed with something, or like an old version of what the genie's wish would be. It's like, you get that, but it also comes with a price, kind of thing. Where apparently it's not. This guy made a wish. He's like, no, I made a wish. It worked out. Everything's good.
Your own wish is worse enough.
And that's the thing, though, is like the wish itself was like, I wish to take autonomy away from this human and then make them do what I.
So my most memorable moment, though.
Okay.
The head bash is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because, he sneaks out. That part is memorable in its own right, when the real Nikki is communicating, kill me, and he leaves. But he goes out to the car. That part is heavy.
That is absolutely 100% heavy, and that in itself is something that can be discussed for hours. And it's just...
Yeah. It could be a topic.
It could be a topic in itself.
When is Nikki reaching out? How often? And what is his reactions to those?
And like he asks her, like, what's so
bad
about being with me?
And the sicko makes it about him and not.
But he gets out of the car or the house, and I remember putting a bookmark in it. I'm like, okay, he got in. They did not go anywhere. I was like, she is sitting next to him, and she is between him and the house. So at some point, that window is going to get broken, but let's just keep going. So I end up forgetting about it because of the acting sucks you in.
Yes.
So, and they're about to
says.
connect again. Maybe there's a way out of this. He can get her to wish something maybe down the line or fix it. At least he'll have someone he can confide in. And
someone really loves him for who he is.
Yeah, and I'm like, maybe there is hope.
And it's like bum 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 bum, and it's just the intensity of it. And there's no like the camera doesn't pan away. It shows the impacts and the result of that.
And like even as she's pounding her face in. I'm like, she can come back from this. And then made sure, like, showed you, like, her eyeball.
Yeah,
like,
her face is crushed in and her eyeballs
boy.
exposed like that. Like, maybe not.
No.
Another one bites the dust. But I think those two scenes strung together, one right after another, is probably, if I had to label a single sequence, that'd probably be it for my most memorable.
Mm-hmm. Probably one more is when she wakes up at the end. Like that's just, it's like you come to and you see the remnants of what was happening.
I guess the studio was kind of pushing because they did shoot another one where I think she dies.
I did hear that, yeah.
And they were like, no, we don't. This is so much more twisted if we get her to snap out of it. Let's keep this. And there was a lot of pushback from them to end it the way they did. Kind of like Seven, I guess, where the production company got overridden by everybody wanting the more, wild ending, which was let her snap out of it, and everyone that she loves is all dead and in the same house as her, like. And so they stuck with that original idea. So that was kind of cool.
And in Inday's acting in that moment, it just brings it home. Of like, this is too much.
Is that how you pronounce her name? Is Inday?
Inday, or I'm pretty sure.
I know it's spelled Inde.
I heard them call her Indy also, but I don't know if it was Indy. Yeah.
That's my solo impression for any Indiana Jones people out there. I also put the first time that she like acts up as Wozniacki, like in public, because it was like something when yes,
no.
And that's the moment where I say cringe, because like it just
this was real awkward,
and and that's probably what you saw me motioning in the theater. I was like, ugh, like you just like it just creates that awkward feeling.
Well, it's like one thing to deal with something horrible alone, but it's also something horrible to deal with in public. Mm-hmm. When you have someone like that, like you could see him not know how to handle the situation when she does it. But he
does not seem like he's the most like socially apt person.
100%.
I don't think so. Well, let's fast forward in time. You're supposed to get the Johnny Depp reference. Yes, I can feel it.
I don't.
You don't know when Johnny Depp was on his the trial against Amber Heard. Amber Heard's lawyer was like, "Let's fast forward in time," and Johnny Depp's like, "Yes, I can feel it."
No, it's funny because I know quite a few of those memes from that trial, but that's one that was over my head.
Anyways, so we're a week past watching it in theaters. Do we have any other new reactions? I want to save what you think about the subject matter for our next topic here, but in terms of reactions and how we feel about the movie now, is it any different than it was a week ago?
So I had like other questions. One of them was like, when did Bear become more of the villain? Like at what point in this whole thing was he like kind of in the wrong? Because I wasn't sure. I'm like, I get the wish was, but he didn't know the wish was going to be like, you get everything you wish for, Mm-hmm. Like she is going to be out of hand in love with you. I don't know if I could fault him for making a wish that he didn't actually believe was going to 100% absolutely come true, But at what point later on in the story was it like, hey, can I just alter my wish? I want to keep it, because he got to the hotline and they were like, you want to cancel your wish? And he's like, no, just alter it, and I'm like, dude, cancel it, like we're watching it, we're all like thinking the same thing, I think, but. Where did Bear, where in the story is he, that was one of the questions I had coming like a week later. I'm like, thinking about it again.
It's interesting because I have a thought about Baron's character, but I've seen so much discourse on like how much people hate that character.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not defending the character at all. but I have a different perception of that situation.
Right.
And, I'll save that for the next thing. But that was something that I saw too, was like, wow, people like are very reactive to Baron's decisions in the movie. And I don't know, I guess just not open to anything else that happens from then on or before that. It was like he made that choice and he's got to suffer and he's, serves him right that this happened and he's evil and blah, blah, blah. So, a week later, I'm kind of like, interesting, like how quick people side certain ways, I guess. But a week later, I definitely want to see this movie again. And I kind of want to see it with a group of people that haven't seen it before to get their initial reactions. Because I feel like us three, I don't know if we have the most flamboyant reactions to things.
Right.
Especially like me and Tin Man, a little bit more stoic to seeing things. Yeah. But this one, we're like, like pointing at the screen.
I remember swearing out loud when I heard the wish chime go off.
Yeah.
Because he locked himself in the bathroom and the wish chime go off. I'm like, oh shit. Like that. I gotta bleep it.
And then I heard not just Baron's character, but then I heard a lot of people did a 180 and were like, no, Nikki and was it Ian? Is that the other friend?
Ian.
Yes.
They're like, those two are the bad guys if you really think about it. I'm like, I have not prepared for that one either.
Yeah. I don't know how Indy's at any fall. I could be swayed. I could hear the argument. I'm not.
Reasons that people were giving, though, I was kind of like,
Oh, okay.
So you, Edge, any other different?
Like you said, there's. At first, I did not want to watch it. The only time I felt like that was with Hereditary. I was like, it was just too disturbing. But after a week, I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
I definitely want to just get another look at it, just see things that I haven't seen before or may have missed. I think the one thing that I may have missed is how he disposed of the cat. I don't know if he
bagged it up in a garbage bag, right?
I thought he just threw it out.
He threw it out.
In a garbage bag, yeah.
And he just,
I don't know where he did it. Yeah, I think it just went in the
I don't know if
garbage bag.
If he just disposed of it like in the bin or if he actually gave it a proper burial or not.
I doubt he buried it.
I doubt so too.
But like that just
how does she end up with it?
But that's what I'm saying is like then it becomes...
Or is that the first time? Or was it after the shrine was built?
No, that was before. But like that just kind of gives an idea of like, all right, who Bear is as a character in the very beginnings of it. So there's stuff like that I wish that I could see again. Another thing that could come to mind was the... Did the movie grow on me or did it really shrink for me? I would say that the movie grew on me. Like, you know how it's like you watch it and you're still coming off the high of... Mm-hmm. And after a week of watching it...
It's like a really good workout. You're like, this sucked. And then afterwards you're like, that was good.
And the movie is grown on me.
Nice.
To being one of my favorite horror movies.
Really?
Yes. I mean, the last one to have just being scared was Hereditary. Like, I could not watch that for months. and then, so this one definitely...
nice.
This one definitely...
I had another thought 1 week later. Mm-hmm. How long do I think I could actually make that relationship work with Nikki?
That was part of my first impression.
One of the comments I think I sent it to you was just like, Bear's just dating a Latina woman. I don't see what they're
I've dated crazy before. I can handle crazy.
Yeah, I was like, that's crazy. Whatever. It's like she was switching between the real her and the not real her. I'm like, yeah, like every woman. No offense. Sorry, ladies. Sorry out there. I'm just joking.
No, he's not. Look at
It's
him.
a shot at my wife. That's what that is.
So you're...
So one of the other things I was thinking too was that I felt like the movie did a good job of keeping Bear's fear and anxiety forefront. So like if you thought about it, you'd be like, oh, he's being kind of a jerk here. But when you're watching it, like your first reaction is to also feel fear and anxiety and cringe, as you put. But a week later, you can kind of feel like, okay, his irresponsibility and unaccountability is actually quite glaring. So
Okay.
that would probably be one of the differences too. Like when you first watch it, like you're just focused on how crazy she is, and you feel the same things he does, but you remove yourself a couple days and you think about it. You're kind of like, oh, he probably didn't handle things very well.
Oh, he absolutely didn't.
No.
He also can't handle like the situations that would only benefit him. He couldn't do properly either. Just telling someone how he felt, or he had a whole conversation with the waitress the movie starts off with, right? It's the conversation with the waitress where he's like kind of pouring his heart out to the waitress, and she's like, oh. And the buddy's there, and he's like, okay, thank you, you know. And I go tell it to that girl. He's like, you got time. I'm like, okay, why is the best friend giving him poor relationship advice? Oh.
That's
sleeping with her on the side.
Yeah,
that's
why.
But yeah, I think I chalked him up to being more, maybe not so immature, but just that inability to act, even and to benefit himself. Like even if it was, hey, it's better if everybody kind of knows, can't push forward, pull the trigger, do the thing he needs to do, even to the point of you're gonna kill yourself now because you couldn't you couldn't handle the situation that you created for yourself. And I guess that's what obsession leads you to.
Well, speaking of, what do you think this movie says about obsession?
Well, a lot of this is what he had built in his head. His version of the relationship that they could have was starting to, come to fruition. And if it means destroying himself, destroying her, the real her, putting everyone around him in danger, eventually killing everybody around him, he still had doubled down on the wish. Well, I just want the benefits, but not all the negatives, like that's
like no accountability.
Yeah.
What do you think, Edge?
I mean, there's a healthy version of obsession and there's destructive version of obsession.
Okay.
And this one goes beyond all that. And it takes it to the 10th degree, and it's something that I think Curry Barker just nails. Because there's scenes where it's like, where she's waiting at the door,
and
right?
Stays in the
same spot.
And she stays there. And she stays there.
And stays there. And unfortunately, yeah.
I like that they lingered on that scene too when he leaves and she puts on like this really like
disturbing. Yep.
Like strained smile and just holds it. And for the scene to just hold on her for like 10 seconds before it starts to drop down, then you see her like pee herself.
Yeah.
But like just the holding it like that, like, oh, that was a cool scene. Mm-hmm. But yes, I agree.
And it takes the obsession, and it like I said, there's you can be obsessed with something and be, but in this
I think that's
one,
a younger generation thing. I don't think obsession has a positive
at all.
I think we describe it different.
That's what I think. That's what I think. I think it's a younger generation thing.
Like I would say, driven.
Edge has a few years beneath.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because they probably will like that word can coincide with being really driven, hardworking, focused. I think like the older generation, attributes obsession to more like
it's newer generations. I would hear like, oh, I'm obsessed with this new birthday cake.
Right.
Like that obsession is more like, hey, I enjoy it, and I'm active in participating in whatever this thing is,
and I'm having fun with it. And
right. Yeah. So that's interesting then. That difference within the age, the generations, then, because if I say I'm obsessed with anything, it's like, oh, you're taking it a little too far, then,
Right.
But that's just the different vernacular.
No, he's in like a decade behind. Baymax is like a decade above.
So
that's not that I'm disagreeing with your interpretation.
And I think they to make a horror movie on the destructive element of it and have it the way it was done was, I think, quite well.
Yeah, agreed.
So when we were talking outside of the movie theater after the movie was done, there's a moment, Edge, you asked us, you said, to be clear, Bear was the bad guy in all of this, right? And I remember hesitating in my answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask you guys some questions.
Okay.
Yep.
They're yes or no questions.
Yes or no?
Would you say Bear was obsessed?
Sometimes. I'm just kidding.
Was Bear obsessed? Yes.
Would you say that Wishnicki was obsessed with Bear?
Yes.
Wishnicki? Yes.
Would you say that Wishnicki was not Nikki's true self after Bear's wish?
No.
I don't know if it would be an element of her. No, I'm going to have to go with no.
Is it then plausible that obsession is the cause for Bear's vile actions and not his true self?
See, well, I'll go back one question. Only because there's a moment where the obsessed version of Nikki and him have this montage where they're all getting along, right? So there's like the infatuation stage that naturally occurs in a relationship that over time peels back but should reveal, a little more deeper relationship that's more lasting because of all the, the chemical reactions have worn, thin. But that infatuation stage seemed to work for them for this little window. Is that what it would have been like if she was in the same level? Like if she actually was infatuated with a guy? Maybe not Bear, but if it was, would that be what it really looked like? Because it seemed to be pretty natural and pretty... That's what I'm saying. I'm not
For
saying
that
it
part-
isn't her. She was in a completely different person. That might be how
But
she is.
with Baron, though.
No, it doesn't sound like they were ever going to get to that point.
Well, so the question was, is it then plausible that obsession is the cause for Bear's vile actions and not his true self? If Nikki can have a false identity and not be her true self committing these crazy things.
I would say yes.
So that's why I hesitated.
That he's the villain.
That he's
Because
such a villain. Is because if we can excuse Nikki, even if it's not, whatever One Wish Willow did to her, if we can not see her as the villain because of what Baron did, and we describe her as obsessed with Baron, then I would have to say obsession is the root for Baron's
Vile actions. I can agree with you that.
So my thought was that obsession creates false identity. And the thing that hammered this home for me a week later, or over the course of a week, I should say, is that Bear creates false identity for Nikki, like everything's made up in his head, and now he's turned it into a wish, and now everything that he wanted her to just love him, that's all false, right? But obsession also created a false identity for Bear. So we don't really see much of him, like his true self. In fact, we don't see much of Nikki's true self either. So we don't even know what kind of person she was. We get glimpses. We know that she was sleeping around with Ian. We know a couple other things about her.
She gives a homeless guy random money.
It wasn't even her money, was it?
Yeah, you know what? It was Sarah's money. He gave money from Sarah. And
so
she
it's
gave
little
it to...
things like that where it's
Is she?
we don't even know her, but what we see, we don't agree with.
Right.
And with Baron, he's already obsessed. So we don't actually, of course his actions are inexcusable, but we can attribute them to this mindset of obsession rather than how he is as an actual person. Ooh. And the hammer here, the hammer and nail for this idea is at the end when Wishnicki also creates a false, literally creates the false identity for Bear with the wish.
Yeah, when she gets the wish, yeah.
So it's kind of like we've spent the whole movie slowly realizing how obsession can obscures someone's mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that in Nikki, but we're also, if we turn our lens the other way, we can see how much it's warped Baron's mind for him to think it's okay to do all these things.
Right.
And then they hammer it home with the literal wish that turns him that way. To be like, see, it does change your mind.
Yeah.
So that's why I hesitated when you said Baron's the bad guy here. Because I was like, I think he's under the same, if you want to say a spell, the obsession. He's kind of under that same thing that he put under Nikki.
He's
under.
obsessed, cursed Baron.
Yeah.
Yeah, naturally
She's obsessed,
obsessed.
cursed Nikki. Yeah.
So the only thing I would say in regard to that would be he had the choice throughout the movie. Yes, his natural obsession of Nikki drew him to be what the movie becomes. But I would say that there are scenes in the movie where he could at least try to retract or try and resolve the issue that he caused from making the wish.
And like I've thought about that one too. And my thought is that Wish Nikki is such a mirror image of, like, a ridiculous version of Bear's obsession, that you could say the same thing to her, but it's the same spell. Not literally in the movie, like it's not the same one wish below. It's the same theme of obsession that's affecting both of these. It's just that with Nikki, we're kind of like, well, she's the victim here, so she gets a free pass on bashing Sarah's head in and shooting Ian
in the face
and digging up the cat or bringing out the cat. She gets a free pass because she's under a spell. That's I see her character as a mirror image of Bear's character thematically. So that's why I'm kind of like, he could make those rational decisions. But the thing with someone that's obsessed is they can't make rational decisions in the same way that Wish Nikki couldn't. So that's where I got to when I factored that in.
I like that idea. I really like that idea. My first thought was like, you're like, we give her a pass. I don't know. I won't say it. I like that because the wish does go both ways by the end of it. But is he somewhat like love-struck, obsessed? Like he has this version of him that isn't the real him, that's kind of making decisions for him, whether he likes it or not. He does have a little more autonomy than she does because of the wish, but is that where it's...
And
go ahead.
And I think that's where it needs to be drawn, is although she doesn't have autonomy of her choices, but he does. But being obsessed, I would think he would still have that thought in his mind. And I think he does in the movie. When he asks, is it so wrong is it so bad to be with me?
Yeah.
In that moment, it's like
Well, Wish Nikki asked the same thing, though. Why don't you love me? So that's why I say it's such a mirror image. And for how ridiculous...
And we're not saying he's a good guy.
No.
Yeah.
But for how ridiculous her choices are in the movie, that's why I'm like, that's the same irrationality that the Bear has. Even though he could make good decisions, just... Yeah, I'd like to cancel my wish, like, right away, instead of being like, I just want to alter it.
Yeah.
I just want her less crazy.
I think I can make it work. I think I can make it work.
yeah.
So that I mean, like I said, that's what it keeps coming back to, is that for how ridiculous her choices are, his are going to be equally as ridiculous. Of like, yeah, dude, just fix it. Just go back. Just do the right thing. It's that easy. Like, certainly Wish Nikki can't do the right thing either.
Right.
So that's where I keep coming back to.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
So I remember mentioning to you guys the symbolic use of the home.
Yes, and I did not think of that until you said that.
So in the beginning there, when Bear's driving Nikki home, you could tell he's thinking about expressing how he feels to her, and he can't do it. And she leaves, and he makes his wish, and he snaps it. She's almost to her house. She's on the porch, but she didn't get quite in there. So my thought from seeing the rest of the movie was that the use of the homes were kind of like the psyche of these people, their minds. So when Bear made that wish, he locked Nikki from entering her own psyche. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So he locked her out. Mm-hmm. And where does she go next? She exists almost solely in
his house.
Bear's house,
Yep.
his mind, his psyche. And that's where that version of Nikki is true for him. It's the one that's obsessed with him, the one that loves just him. So that's how I saw the symbolic use of the homes there.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that would fall with Ian as well? Or not really?
I think you probably could do that. You could see the stuff that's in his house is kind of representative of his character, like always partying. There's like neon signs or something in there. There's pool table games,
drinks,
like very
all the
fleeting.
friends are in it,
Yeah, so like compared to like when he's when he's sleeping around with Nikki, it's kind of like feeding the is it the id? Like just having fun, just living because you're young, doing young people things.
The hedonism thing.
And his house represents that. Mm-hmm. And when you go to Bear's house, it's old artifacts. It's kind of stuck in time a little bit. He's got a computer. Other than that, it's kind of stuck, like Arrested Development. So he can't get past because he's stuck there with the obsession. Mm-hmm. So he can't move forward. He can't do anything, right? And again, with Nikki, we don't ever see her in her home inside. Mm-hmm. So we don't actually know who she is as a person. Right. I think that's pretty clear throughout the movie as well.
Yeah. You kind of get one picture of her, and then you're like, is she the really good person? She's also sleeping with your best friend? You sure? It starts to open up all the other doors.
What'd you guys think of the cat? And he's, what's the symbology there?
I don't like cats.
Edge is about to leave.
This is the first and last guest appearance. No, I mean, like I said, it's my cat's birthday, and so right off the rip, I was traumatized. I did not think of, what do you mean, like the cat, what could...
Yeah, so did you have any thoughts, Tin Man, before
I took no effort in trying to analyze anything.
So I thought it demonstrated Bear's irresponsibility and foreshadows his treatment of Nikki. That is possession instead of love, and again, unaccountability. The first thing he says when he comes home isn't like, oh no, I left my meds out. It's, what did you do?
It's like, why'd you get into that?
Right. It wasn't him taking responsibility for
the pills,
leaving these dangerous things out. It was, what did you do? Mm-hmm. And later on in the movie, you hear him kind of say, if anything, she's obsessed with me, or something along those lines. When I think Ian was questioning, like, why are you, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Because they think they're taking that, he's taking advantage of her because of her dad or whatever it is. Like, are you?
If anything, she can't keep away from me. Yeah, I saw that cat's death as kind of like a foreshadowing of that relationship.
Of his treatment of the things he loves, so to speak.
Yeah, and also, like, if I can't remember how he disposes of the cat, but also if what he does throws a cat into the bin, like that just kind of goes to show
like no respect, no regard for. Mm-hmm. And then I would say that Nikki kind of resembles a pet in behavior instead of a partner in a romantic relationship. So she's threatened by other potential mates, I guess, with Sarah.
Wish Nikki?
Yeah, Wish Nikki.
Yeah, like
and then we mentioned her kind of hopping with her arms out front. There's like, pets have like a unconditional like obedience, and I think we could see Wish Nikki did that. Urinating on the carpet, waiting at the door for her master to come home.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like that cat had a little bit more to do thematically throughout the rest of the movie.
Sets the tone.
Yeah.
And from the beginning, I can definitely see that it can set the tone of the movie after watching it.
And I think when he's eating the cat, it's almost a sense of like getting ready to eat the consequences of how he treats these people.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the way that Wish Nikki moved got seemed like more and more glitchy. I also noticed there was the TV that seemed to play. Did she like record herself or something? Because like she was playing. I think it was an image of her playing on the TV in the background at Bear's place.
I want to say.
don't remember.
I want to say Nikki was recording Bear while he was sleeping, and it was playing.
Okay, maybe like selfie or something with.
Like
while
I
she
think
was
there
with him.
was a selfie of her and him, but there was definitely a video of him sleeping.
Okay.
And just recording.
I could have swore she was part of the video as well.
Was it?
Well, I mean, that would make sense then, because that would be when she could record it. So, over the past week, I was thinking about that too, and I was like, we've seen that effect before, where it looks like a person's being rewound and the way they move,
Yeah.
and like you see her kind of like slink a few times and like kind of like jolty like movements. So I was like, what? And then the movie ends staring at the static screen.
Yes.
So I was like, okay,
it pans down from her to her feet and then flips all the way upside down to the screen. Yeah.
So I kind of thought about that. So I feel like that glitchy behavior is kind of like it's an important reminder for today's people, because I feel like today a lot of people are losing the ability to communicate and to just talk. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, you can't talk to the people that you love, you can't talk to your friends. It's just in general, I feel like today people are losing that ability to communicate.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I think of glitch, I think of loose connection. You know, even our logo even. You know?
Yeah.
So when you see the TV screen, she's the one on there, but it's like fuzzy, it's staticky. So it's this like loose idea of an identity in this screen. And when she snaps out of it, that disappears from the screen. So there's a sense of emptiness. I'm kind of in that arena of seeing why they used those glitchy movements for her. And to me, it was because it's a loss of connection. It's a loss of, wholeness of an identity.
And is there any moments when she is moving in erratic ways? Could that be interpreted as like her coming to out of Wish Nikki?
Could be, like I said, loose connection could be both ways.
Going
then.
back and forth.
Yeah.
They did that effect in like, was it House on Haunted Hill? I think it was the first time I saw it, where they record someone, they're moving backwards or whatever. They had to move backwards and record it forwards. So they had like these really unnatural movements. But I thought that was freakier than anything is when she would snap out of it.
Yes.
She would just like, what's going on? No, stop. Sorry, I don't know that was weird.
Well, when they first kissed, like,
Yeah.
I remember like
the scene
I was,
kind of
watching,
like got.
and I remember kind of drifting off, trying to use that time to connect some pieces, and then she started screaming. I was like, "Oh, what I miss? What I miss?"
Yeah.
It really lulled you into some false confidence there.
So also with that, the loss of connection, I also applied that to Bear's house, and he's got the TV screen, or the computer screen there. And I just watched Begonia during this week, and they said this phrase, echo chamber. And I thought that, I was like, hey, that's actually a really interesting point for if I'm relating obsession with this loss of people being able to communicate. Because echo chamber is like
We all share all the same ideas.
You share the
thoughts,
same things,
yeah.
so you think that that's all that exists.
The idea
and-
comes back. It just is.
And so, like, that's Bear's echo chamber right there. Is just him, his house, his mind, his psyche, just bouncing things back and forth. Of this is the real Nikki that's at my house. That's who exists. That's my Nikki. You know. So I thought that was important to note. I thought it was also interesting the way that Bear died. Was he died by pills, just like the cat. So it's this idea of the consequences of neglect coming full circle, getting him as well. Also, the idea if I said that Nikki was behaving kind of like a pet, then Bear also kind of turned into a pet himself, into a thing that can't help itself, right? So like the cat died in the beginning, couldn't help itself, and eats the pills, dies. And we see the same thing with Baron. This is one thing, first impression, I was a little conflicted about him trying to get the pills out. Because I was like, well, wouldn't Wish Bear want to get the pills out so that he could live and be with Wish Nikki? Because he stopped trying to fish them out right before he turned into Wish Bear. Mm-hmm. So I was conflicted about that at first, but then with the idea of being irrational, it would be like, well, the only thing he cares about is going to go see Wish Nikki. Right. So who cares about the pills?
And when he wished for her to love him, she was going to the house, stopped, and then she had like this awkward conversation with him where she was like, "Oh yeah, you're going home. No, you're going home. Oh yeah, that's right." Like they had this weird back and forth that didn't make any sense. Like she wasn't quite connected yet, I guess. She wasn't fully formed. She was like in this like
period of
like this buffering
settling
stage,
in,
yeah. And
buffering.
so she was I'll just get in the car with you. You know, like eventually she was settled in. That's
Still
where,
uploading.
As soon as the wish came in, and we don't 100% know what her wish is. I'm assuming it's him to love me like I love him. I don't know what your guys' thoughts were, but I'm assuming that's what the wish was.
Along those lines.
Lines, right. Or maybe it was for him to get out of the bathroom, you know, to love me, get out of the bathroom and love me. Just like, oh, I got a job to do. And just drops whatever he was doing.
Well, my thought was this idea of self-destruction also. Because Wish Nikki peed on the floor, puked on herself, stabbed herself with a bottle, marking herself up, all this stuff.
I would argue to say that regular Nikki is the one who stabbed herself in the face.
Okay, either way.
Yeah.
But
Either way, this idea of self-destructing.
Yeah.
And I see Bear, when he turns, stops trying to get the pills out and allows the pills to take effect. That's where I saw the self-destruction.
Okay. I saw it as he totally just dropped it because it's like, oh, the wish wants me to do this, and it's new task, new objective,
Well, it's
new
not.
whatever.
It's not intentional self-destruction. I would say it's just kind of like neglect of yourself.
Okay. Oh,
so
neglect. That's perfect. Yeah.
So Wish Nikki peeing on herself, puking on herself, whatever else.
Yeah.
Not taking care of herself because her mind is focused on whatever she's obsessed with, and that's where I see neglect or self-destruction with Wish Bear.
That was a perfect ending, I thought, for that movie.
I guess I saw this clip that the actor that plays Bear said that the act of trying to get the pills out was a last-second thing, where like it wasn't in the script at all, and they were like trying to hurry up with the shooting. Like I guess they're supposed to leave the house like very soon. And so Curry was like, no, we don't have time for that. We got to go. He's like, hold on. I do this because my character
can't finish anything.
Can't take the time, do the right thing still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He can't just kill himself so that she can
be free.
He's got to, no, I can't do this. And tries to
that
get the
does
pills
seem
out.
very fitting for his character.
So cool how quick ideas still make such an impact
Yeah.
on the movie and the theme.
I think you could last 6 months with Nikki. 6 months? Think you could make it 6 months?
I would probably say 1 month. I'd like to say 6 months, but the way the movie was portraying how Nikki goes about, I'd last 1 month. And I don't know how long that montage was for.
That's true.
I thought I heard that's supposed to be like a week and a half or something.
Okay, so like
He might not have even. He might have made 3 weeks.
a month.
Chekhov's gun.
That's right. You did say that. You did say that.
Where'd the gun come from?
Yeah, have you heard of this idea of Chekhov's gun?
No.
So it's this idea that
It's like a literary element or whatever.
when you're telling a story, you introduce things with the intention that it gets resolved later.
Mm-hmm.
So if I show you a gun in Act 1, that gun better go off in Act 3.
Mm.
So there's a clear moment in the story when they're like, oh, so-and-so keeps a gun in the lockbox at the store or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, oh. I was going to nudge you.
It's
but
Sarah's dad, right? Sarah's
Yeah.
dad who
Yeah.
owns it.
Sarah's dad.
Andy Richter keeps a gun in the safe. You know?
Yeah.
Like, huh, weird.
I was like, what a weird thing to say right now. So, of course, that's where she gets the gun from.
Yep. Because they asked that too. I saw a couple of comments on it. They're like, "Where'd this gun come from? It came out of nowhere. Did she wish for it?" Like, no, it was mentioned.
It was Chekhov.
referenced.
Chekhov did it.
Chekhov brought it in. Is it check off? Like it was on a checkbox. Like, oh, you gotta check off.
I
That's
think-
funny, though.
It must have been when
It's a
she was
Russian
when they were
checkbox.
disposing of the girl's body. What was the girl's name?
Her
Sarah.
name
Sarah.
was Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson.
When they went back to when they went into
actress?
the guitar. I think they went back to the guitar store or the music store, and I'm assuming that's
I'm assuming,
that's where
too.
the safe is. Yeah.
where she had acquired the gun, because that's when he goes to Ian's house for like make a wish.
I like that they brought her back to the house, like had her in the chair. He's just kind of like, she's still here. You brought her back here.
Just like
Just like the cat.
The cat. Yeah, just like the cat.
And then she drew the tattoos that she had on her. She had like one on her chest, and she had one on her arm.
I thought that was a nice
It's
touch
like,
to
yeah.
the obsession bit. It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I know you like this.
Yeah,
this
you
girl.
like that? I can be that.
I can be that as well. And
The cool girl.
Good stuff. We're gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll have K-Max watch it.
Yeah, we can all.
I would
Suffer
love
through
to
it
be in
again.
that room when he watches it, because I don't think he's.
You know, he's watched Mother. He's watched Midsummer. He's watched Talk to Me. So
Dude, he
Always
watched
getting
Skinamarink.
he watched Skinamarink.
Oh man! Now
Have
you
you
gotta.
seen it?
Now you gotta. I've not watched that movie.
You should watch it at
It's-
night.
it is-
by yourself at 2 a.m.
I'm going home after this.
There's no. I don't know. I don't want
nothing,
to say anything.
nothing.
No.
There isn't anything.
All right. So for right now, that's all I got for Obsession. It was supposed to be kind of a quicker episode. I know we could probably spend 3 hours on this thing.
I got.
What do you got?
What would your wish be?
Ooh, I like that.
Because I got one.
Okay.
I wish
don't-
I wish Edge loved me more than anyone else in the fucking world.
So Tin Man, what are you doing tonight? Vozly, you can go to bed.
Oh, yes, we will. All right. let me
I'm
see.
your freaky Edge.
I don't know. When Ian wished for $1 billion, that seemed pretty nice, clear cut. It's all done, and he gets his wish. That seemed pretty simple.
Yeah, it's just like, it's raining stacks of money.
That was one of the things when I described to my wife. She started laughing. But I was like, then he could have saved her, and then he snaps. He said he wished for $1 billion, and money started raining from the ceiling. And she's like, Why? What would your wish be, Edge?
Oh, this is totally off topic. I thought about this, and I was just like, let's redo Game of Thrones. All of it.
Well, with $1 billion, you could redo Game of Thrones.
yeah.
And then some.
Yeah. I'm funding it. Everyone coming back.
And I could make Edge love me more than anything else in the world. I just usurped all
just
of your
throw these
wishes
bills
just by
at you.
getting $1 billion.
I wish for $2 billion.
Shoot.
I made my wish. I'm staying with that.
All right.
Oh, this movie's going to stay with me for a while, and I'm excited for it. So if you haven't seen it in the theaters, go see it now. Please do yourself a favor and get scared. I highly recommend it.
No. I thought we were having a good date.